Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to a new TEW2020 video. You join us for a kind of hybrid between an event and a special show, and the fact that it is the AEW Draft Show, sponsored by DraftKings, as Excalibur would say. But looking forward to this one, we're going to shake the brands up a little bit. Just to give you an idea of the few plans I've got here, there's going to be 8 matches. The winners will see someone move to that respective brand who will be drawn afterwards. We're also, after the show, going to confirm that 8 people are groups are going to go from each brand, so we're going to see 8 Rampage acts go to Dynamite and vice versa on top of the initial 8 that have been picked. I'm looking to have basically exclusive championships, so not for the main title. The main title and the 0x Championship will stay like for both brands, but we'll have like the TNT will be on one brand, the Lucha Underground will be in another. We'll probably dissolve the Gift of the Gods. We'll have the TBS alongside the Shine Championship. So a lot to look forward to, some big matches. Allows us to experiment a little bit. And just to confirm, we are hanging off with Kenny Omega versus MJF. That will be our main event to end the year at Winter is Coming. So without further ado, strap yourself in. Let's go. This is the AEW Draft Show 2024. So just 16 segments, so it might flow in a little bit quicker, but of course we do have a lot to explain, so that may drag it out. So we've got a sold out show and we're straight in with some action. It is for the Lucha Underground Championship. Winning the Gift of the Gods Championship and then 2 title defences has given Swerve Strickland his opportunity against the Lucha Underground Champion Matt Riddle. So it's Strickland from Rampage, it is Matt Riddle from Dynamite. And in a good matchup, Matt Riddle defeated Swerve Strickland in 11:47 with a floating bro. Matt Riddle makes defence number 1 of the Lucha Underground Championship. So a decent matchup here. A 79, I'm happy with that. 2 good performances, and that gives a victory to the Dynamite brand. So who will they be taking from Rampage? Well, as the former bodyguard of CM Punk, it is the big Aussie Jonah will be making the move over to Dynamite. I'll be switching all the brands post video because there'll be a lot of stuff. There's a lot of people that are like unassigned, so I'll do that as well. But the first person to move is Jonah. The second match of the evening actually far surpassed what I thought it would get, and it is the PopCap Jungle Boy taking on Andrade El Idolo, and it was about to have superb wrestling and great heat as Rampage's Andrade El Idolo defeats Jungle Boy in 13:36 with a hammerlock DDT. These 2 performers put together a brilliant 85 performance, and yeah, absolutely delighted. Maybe could have put the New Japan or the IWGP United States title on the line that Andrade holds, but it means it's a victory for Rampage, and they will have a new person arrive on their show, and that person is the Bastard Pack. So not only that, but the TNT Champion Pack will be moving over. He will now be over there, and so will that championship belt. So Lucha Underground Championship will be the belt on the Dynamite show, and Pack in the TNT Championship on Rampage. We then move on to a matchup for the TBS Championship, and it was a good matchup that saw Mercedes Varnado defeat BB Ford in 11:41 by pinfall, giving her the first defence of the belt. These ladies were both off their game, but delivered a pretty good 80 rated performance, and that means that someone will be moving over to Rampage to join Mercedes Varnado. Remember as well, a lot of these matches won't really have storylines because they're on different brands. There is some, but we'll explain them as they happen. Moving over to the Rampage brand is Io Shirai, and that little video airing Shirai's reaction gets a 69. We then move on to a matchup between 2 guys that know each other very well, and that is Dynamite's Bryan Danielson and Rampage's Jon Moxley. And an exceptional matchup for the 3rd time this evening, Rampage picks up the win as Jon Moxley defeats Bryan Danielson in 18:43 with a Death Rider 85, so they maybe could have done a lot better. 92 for Moxley, 90 for Bryan. There could be a few reasons for that being poor. Could possibly be Bryan's physical ability, could just be an off night, but maybe the limitations of time. But an 85 nonetheless. And the people that move over, I said people, there's a few, because moving over to Rampage has been decided as the full group known as the Danielson Fight Dojo. So Bryan Danielson himself, Daniel Garcia, Serena Deeb, the Shine Champion, Claudio Castagnoli and Stu Grayson will move over as a 61. Lil Hirsch is going to be out for a long period of time with her pregnancy, so I'm on the fence of whether or not she'll move, but we worry about that down the line. So yeah, Bryan Danielson's Fight Dojo are on the move to Rampage. It's going to give them a lot of fresh feuds going forward too, which I'm quite excited about. We then have a superb matchup in the women's division, and it was a win for Dynamite here, as Kana from Dynamite defeated Charlotte for Rampage in 14:02, with Canagon. 84. These ladies brought it. That just shows that the top end of our women's division is in a really good level, and that means that a new wrestler will be moving to Dynamite, and that is of course the TBS champion Mercedes Varnado. So as I said, the Shine champion was going to be moving over with the form of Serena Deeb, and now Mercedes Varnado will take that TBS championship and make it Dynamite's. So some good stuff there. We then move on to some tag team action, and it was a decent matchup that saw Rampage pick up their 4th win of the evening as they defeated, or they are proud and powerful, defeated the Varsity Blondes from Dynamite in 11:57 when Santana submitted Brian Pillman Jr. A 72 here. Obviously the face turn for Proud and Powerful wasn't the best, but hopefully we can get them back with some good momentum, and considering the lack of overness of the Varsity Blondes, this is still a pretty respectable matchup. And with that, moving over to Rampage, we're going with all the big hitters. It is Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, will be moving to Rampage. Co-main event time, and we had a pretty solid matchup. Miro from Dynamite defeated Kevin Steen from Rampage in 12:26 with the Bullplex. Two good performances. Kevin Steen's got the psychology to carry these matches, and Miro is getting better and better ever since coming back from his wee layoff. But an 80 rated matchup is good, so naturally if Kevin Steen loses, it is of course Sami Zayn that will be moving from Rampage to Dynamite. So we'll be splitting them up and allowing them to go on solo runs, which leads us to our main event, which has had a little bit of storyline behind it. Basically, obviously we know the faction that MJF has is Sammy Guevara and Richard Holiday. Darby Allin's been kind of getting involved in stuff with Sammy. Kenny's obviously #1 contender, so it felt right to make this the main event of the evening. Now obviously MJF can be in both brands, but Sammy is naturally flicked between both. MJF was previously Rampage, so they're going to hold up the bargain of being a Rampage team here with Allin and Omega on Dynamite. And it was an exceptional matchup as Darby and Kenny defeated MJF and Sammy in 17:38 when Kenny pinned Sammy with a one-winged angel. These two bring in a perfect 87 rated matchup here. Delighted with that. Great performances all round. Sammy's slacking a little bit because obviously we said to put a lot of people over, but it does mean there's one final person that will be moving to Dynamite with that victory. And that man comes out, stares down MJF, because the man moving to Dynamite, Wednesday Night Dynamite, is Hangman Adam Page. So him and MJF square up. I was hoping that would have done a lot better, so we might struggle with the best promo of the night, the best angle. But the main event matchup was an 87, so we may be in that kind of ballpark for our show rating overall. But your wee special show here, actually the lovers win 82. Thanks to the boosts, thanks to us having all this money that we can put the thing into boosts. But yeah, simple effective draft show, that's what I wanted to make it be. Showcase who was moving over. So I'm just going to quickly, as I say, while I'll let you see the matches for like 1 or 2 seconds here. Feel free to press pause if you want to look over it as well. But very happy with the 92, the increase in the 35 regions. While we move to the main screen, let's give you a rundown of the 8 picks and then other people that will be moving from Dynamite and Rampage. So on the show, Jonah's going to Dynamite. Rampage will pick up Pac. Rampage will pick up Io Shirai. And they'll also pick up the Danielson Fight Dojo with Bryan Danielson, Stu Grayson, Daniel Garcia, Serena Deeb and Claudio Castagnoli. Dynamite will pick up the TBS champion Mercedes Varnado. Rampage will pick up the Young Bucks, and Dynamite will also pick up Sami Zayn and Hangman Adam Page. Similar to like WWE done it way back in the day of the supplementary draft, which was always on the internet or whatever, on the website at the time, pre-YouTube days. But we can confirm moving from Rampage to Dynamite is going to be the following: the Fatu Brothers, Dante Martin, Ruby Soho, Shotzi Blackheart, Jeff Cobb, The Acclaimed, Tommaso Ciampa, and Kip Sabian. moving from Rampage. Moving from Dynamite to Rampage. Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong from Honor Era. Mustafa, Lince Dorado, and Mascara Dorado. Pete Dunne, Garza Jr., Rey Mysterio, T Conti, and Margarita Moza, her kind of Hispanic partner. And last but not least, Candice LeRae will be moving over as well. So quite a lot of a shake-up. There's a lot of people who haven't actually put to brands, so like there's been appearing on both brands. You don't really see it because every show is obviously just the pay-per-views, but I'll make sure that everyone's on a brand apart from the Zero X champion Wheeler Yuta and the AEW World Champion, of course, MJF, and the Women's Champion Jade Cargill. Those will be the only three that can be on both shows. Technically, Stokely Hathaway can, because he is obviously the manager of Jade Cargill. So we're just going to confirm new contracts for development talent Wayne Azaria, Amina Lashley. Both of them are generated talents. And we'll give Riho a 75% increase. We're also renewing Kip Sabian. And yeah, sure done right. No buy rates because obviously it's on our network, but we have to make money somehow or another. And anything there that directly affects us? Jake something, that's one of our talents that we utilise mostly as putting people over. But yeah, nothing there too noteworthy or sticking out, but the show itself was pretty good. If we go to Company Wars, if we go to the AEW, and we go to the top 100, like that puts it in as our 18th best show ever. I don't feel that was particularly great, so hopefully winter is coming, we can push in that top 10, try and push maybe for number 1, and see if MJF can get a match up here, because I think MJF's best match is when him and CM Punk teamed up against Kevin Steen and John Cena back in August, so he's got a lot of pressure. Kenny has got the top 2 matches against Sammy and Bryan. But that's it for this week. Hope you did enjoy it. As I say, next one will be in-game in 13 days, but in real life it'll be in a week's time as we head for our final event of the year, which is Winter is Coming. So thanks for joining us. I've got a lot of the behind the scenes stuff to do now, aka moving everyone to the right rosters and planning that Winter is Coming card. So I'm going to have a lot of fun and probably realise that this is going to be taking me a good bit of time. So cheers for watching, much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your day. Check out the Fantasy Bookers subreddit, the Grey Dog software forums for other bookers around the globe. And until next time, this is Maxwell, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.